Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us. Hope you had a great weekend. Well, the long weekend in New Zealand is over and the rain clouds are moving away now after what was a very wet weekend for the North Island and obviously a wet weekend for some of the Upper South Island after a wet end to last week on the west coast. So a lot going on, and now the skies, well, I won't say they're clear, but there will be a few sunny spells coming through. There's a lot of low-level cloud over the North Island, so more of those drizzly showers about, which by the way in the afternoon can turn into isolated downpours and thunderstorms if the sun does come out. Another burst of cloud here heading off towards Australia. That's because of high pressure down here in the Southern Ocean and the anticyclonic winds going around it. And finally, this area up here may well turn into a tropical cyclone this week, one to keep an eye on because the rain is heading to New Zealand. Let's make sense of it. Here we are for Wednesday. We've got a couple of low pressure zones. Here is the storm to the north, which may well be a tropical cyclone by Wednesday around Vanuatu and New Caledonia. The red line here, basically, it's the opposite of an Antarctic blast. You know, when we get the Antarctic blast, the snow comes all the way up. This is the other way around. It's a tropical blast, if you like. And so we're going to get all that humid tropical air dropping down. We've got a headline at Weather Watch and Rural Weather today, which talks about this basically being like popping a water balloon. And so all the moisture that's up in the tropics and all that heat and energy is inside that red line. So as it drops southwards, the air becomes much thicker, or in other words, far more humid, and it's already very humid. So we've got more of that weather coming along the way, and with this low in the Tasman and this low up here, the two are linked together, and that's going to help generate some big rain, which you can already see on Wednesday, just starting to move back into the west coast. So by Thursday, much heavier falls in there, over 100 millimeters coming in just 24 hours. This is in an area where hopefully it's not too problematic, even despite all the rain that just fell. The west coast is pretty good at dealing with some big rainfall totals, but clearly more slips could be an issue, especially as more of that rain moves further up and towards that Nelson area. Most of Australia dry. We've got a few showers up here to the north. The storm out to the east won't be impacting you other than maybe driving in some bigger swells, bigger waves to some of these Gold Coast or Queensland beaches, not just Gold Coast. Now, as we go in towards the Friday period, the low up here is definitely a tropical storm at this point, a named tropical cyclone, and some of its rain now brushing the north of the country, a few showers elsewhere, but that rain is going to slide southwards as we go through Friday. And then we go into the weekend, and even more rain spreads in, that red line right down across New Zealand. So this is pulling the tropics down with it. This is a major storm if this model is correct. This is a significant storm. That air pressure is very, very low on Saturday. And then we get into Sunday, and now that system is coming right into the New Zealand area. Now this is just one computer model. There's another one showing it further out into the Tasman and therefore not as stormy over New Zealand, but this is definitely something to keep an eye on. Also, the rain out here around Hawke's Bay, I'm standing, in front of most of the scale, but that's 100 millimeters in one day coming in for Sunday. Now this could still change, so we're not locking this in yet, but the computer modelling, which we put a fair bit of weight into, probably 80% of what the models say is what we'll go with. So we're tracking this one. We'll keep a close eye on where it's all going to go. Our next update, that'll be tomorrow, Wednesday, and we will cover this again in more detail. We'll see you then.